Welcome back to Big Brother NSFW. And in a season that's been dominated, allegedly, by a bunch of preseason conspiring bitches, it's only appropriate that we would have the one, the only Kat Dunn from Big Brother 21. Kat, how are you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
We're excited to have you. So real quick for anyone that's tuning in for the first time or curious how we were going to encapsulate these last two episodes, we will be talking the first half of this podcast. We will talk Friday's amazing, hilarious recap episode. And then we will talk everything that we saw in tonight's episode, leading into the winner of the first part of the final HOH competition for Big Brother All-Stars.
And tonight's episode was not a recap episode, right? Did I miss something?
So, and we will have our typical commercial break at the halfway point around the 30-minute mark. And then once we come back, we will talk about everything that we potentially know concerning the second HOH competition and where we see the end of Big Brother All-Stars heading. So with that, Kat, what did you think about Friday night?
It was so fun. So whenever you say, maybe I've been hanging out on Twitter too much where everyone's like super passive aggressive. But whenever you're like talking about like the hilarious episode, I don't know if you're being honest. I personally thought it was funny. I literally laughed out loud at certain parts, especially the part when they were talking about everything that they were requesting it from the diary room. Because it was like, so like, it like kind of reminded me back like how we were. And then it also, but like I don't think we were that much of divas. But I thought it was so cute, and it was good to see a bunch of our favorites back on the screen again.
I did enjoy Memphis' only request: make the fucking hot tub hot. Like, and every time we just see a repeat of that, and then we get Nicole. Oh, by the way, Memphis would like the hot tub to be hot.
I love so much that they never did it.
I don't know. So I never actually got into the hot tub when I was in the house. I never even really got in the pool either. Maybe I got in like once, but apparently according to Cliff, who my mom listens to his live feed recap. So my mom told me this, apparently they don't heat the hot tub. Like that's a thing.
Oh,
so I don't know.
They never have?
I guess. I don't know. My mom said that according to Cliff, they don't heat the hot tub. Like they've, I don't know. So I was like, oh, okay.
Budget cuts.
I know. But don't quote me on it because I never actually got in the hot tub. So I don't know.
Why was it? Fear of chlamydia or
no, fear of crabs actually, because a lot of the rashes that the girls were getting that people were blaming on crabs was actually from the hot tub.
Oh my gosh.
They were blaming it on crabs?
No. So you're like in BB Twitter, like the BB Twitter Gen Z group, I guess during BB21, Holly got this rash on her leg, and she was saying, like, according to the doctor, that it was like caused by like a moist environment. So she was like attributing it to the hot tub, to which I made a joke because I think I'm funny. And I said, oh, or it could be like, the hot HOH shower, crabs are a bitch. And I single-handedly started a rumor that everyone on Big Brother 21 had crabs. So it's like the thing, like, it's like, I still battle it to this day. And somehow like I kind of played myself because since I'm a part of season 21, sometimes trolls will come at me and be like, you have crabs. And I'm like, no, I don't. I started that rumor. And like what? So, but it was because of the hot tub that I think like 3 people got a rash or something. So
I got a question. Can you get crabs without? Because I shave my pubes with the Manscaped Lawnmower 3.0. So can you even get crabs?
No, so that's my argument. That's how I tell people that I don't have crabs because there's the Big Brother Not Suitable for Fans Reddit page where they actually have pictures of my vagina because my shorts were baggy and I wasn't wearing underwear. Right. And I'm so sorry, Karen. You're like judging me harshly. But this is the truth. It's on the internet, so anyone can see it. And you can clearly see that there's no hair. So I'm like, y'all, literally, if you know anything about STDs, I have I don't have crabs because I have no hair.
What is this? What is this website? Real quick, I just. What's this website you're talking about?
Oh, it's Big Brother Not Suitable for Work Reddit.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because I always watch it just to like make sure that none of my nudes are getting leaked. But this season's been a little bit slow with the Not Suitable for Work fan page because I think the feeds are on a delay, but it's like basically like a community of people that they watch the live feeds and wait for like nip slips and like vagina slip.
Wow.
Yes,
I know.
I'm not judging you, Kat. I'm just thanking God once again that I have never been in the Big Brother house.
I know, but see how I'm talking about it so like fluently, like it's so normal to me now. Like that's what
I mean. It's just a vagina, right?
Yeah. Like you ain't never seen a vagina before.
Yeah.
But so that's my what's it called? My alibi. Where like when someone tries to accuse me of crabs, I just direct them to the Not Suitable for Work Reddit page. I'm like, y'all
Clearly, I'm pubeless.
crabs cannot live in this environment.
I love it.
That
is. So, what are you thinking? Like this season in general? Like I'm a newbie. I mean, I played Survivor. I'm part of the reality television community. Johnny and I been doing this podcast a long time, talking about Survivor. We did Big Brother Celebrity Edition, and this is really my first dive, really from start to finish on a season. And it seems. What's that?
It's my first time too. Watch because I was a recruit, so I had never really watched Big Brother before.
Yes. So, what is your thought as a recruit, just in general, as a viewer for this season so far? Give me your honest opinion.
This is my first time watching the whole season and the live feeds at the same time. Mm-hmm. So that's been kind of fun, just learning like what that like I guess like culture is like. I wish I would have known it when I went on the show because I also didn't realize that like when I was thinking of like the live feeds, I was thinking like, oh, like someone can like go on their computer and like go to the live feeds, whatever. I forgot that like smart TVs, you can like you can watch the live feeds. Like it's like a show almost. But so, and also like the fact that like the live feed show one show and the edited show shows a whole nother show. So it's kind of fun. Just like experiencing that for the first time and kind of being a part of the BB culture. Mm-hmm. That being said, I haven't necessarily gone back to watch a lot of the previous seasons, but I'm more of like a researcher. Like I like looking up like articles, YouTube videos, like short little snippets about it. I feel like based on my research, I feel like the season has kind of paled in comparison to that of previous seasons. Mm-hmm. But I think I have a little bit more of a tolerance than other people have just because it's my first time experiencing it.
Well, so you don't know a whole lot about everyone's gameplay since
I know a lot about it because I know like I'm like crazy about researching.
So you quickly learned like, okay, this is the strategist, this is the blah blah blah. So have you been entertained, let's say?
Not really.
2020, not really? Yeah.
No, I mean like I don't know. That's the thing that's crazy about the season. So also just to clarify, like I'm not an idiot when it comes to Big Brother. Like when I got recruited for BB21 and I knew that I didn't have enough time to go back and watch every single season of Big Brother and learn, I just would research, the best moves, the worst moves, the best players, the worst players, clips of the best, iconic moments. Like I know a lot about the specific game players. And then especially since I have a podcast right now, and I'm being trusted to do these deep dive analysis of their gameplay. Like I definitely do. Like I'm familiar with everyone's gameplay, where they came from, where they placed in the past and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But that being said, like there was even a Reddit thread the other day about someone was, they were making a list of all the like iconic, like game-changing moments of each season. And like, what is the iconic game-changing moment of Big Brother 22? Like there hasn't really been one. So it's been a little bit boring in that regard. But I think just like for what it is, like, I think just like the entertainment has come from just living vicariously through these people in the Big Brother house. But as far as gameplay, it's been kind of underwhelming.
I feel the same exact way.
Yes. So, Kat, as you're looking at all these players and researching their history, for me, I've seen all of it, but it's been maybe years. I don't remember a whole lot of the intricacies of their game. Who do you see as changing their game a lot? Because I was looking at the final three tonight, and they're recounting their games, and they're eerily similar to exactly what they did last time they played.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. But here's the thing, too, is, and I even tweeted this earlier, so I never watched season 18, and I honestly really, like, to be, like, I don't know how this sounds, because I don't mean this to sound bad, but I never really Nicole Franzel didn't necessarily come up on moves or the worst game. Like she was just kind of like, I think that she's just kind of like she's a winner, but like whatever. But I've like never really understood how, and again, I'm not trying to be rude, but I've never really understood how she won season 18 because just kind of her persona that she has on the show. I'm like, she just doesn't really come across as like a dynamic player like a lot of these other girls or a lot of these other players, keeping gender out of it even. So I've always been like a little bit confused by that. So a lot of people, when I tweeted about it tonight, they said that she deserved to win in Big Brother 18. Personally, I actually think that she's played the best game on season 22, which I've been crucified for. But I don't know. I mean, there's been I feel like this season, I hope this answers your question. And again, I'm not a Big Brother expert by watching the seasons, but I feel like a lot of people came back with worse games.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. The same or worse for almost everybody, I would say.
Like Tyler was such a mastermind. And I see all these people that are fighting for him to be AFP, which like, I love Tyler. I love Angela, friends of mine. I have her cookbook. But I'm like, why? I was like, what in the world has Tyler done this season to deserve AFP? He literally didn't do anything except for not want to be there. So
yeah,
I almost want to vote for Tyler just because he doesn't want me to, because both Tyler and Angela have come out and said, please vote for Day for AFP.
No.
Wait, that didn't happen? I saw
that was the fake Twitter account. Those were Photoshop tweets.
That is so funny. Okay, because I'm for it. Because yesterday there was some drama. So I have this Emmy, the pride and joy of my life. She runs an account called Catherine Dunstan. And even though I'm verified on Instagram, she's not. And her name on Instagram is literally Emmy with the handle Catherine Dunstan, but it's like clearly a fan account. She'll have these like dudes messaging her, like they thinking that it's me. And so she sent me these screenshots of she like will message them back and be like yesterday, someone was like, oh, like let's make a bet. Like, if something happens, like I can take you out to dinner. And then Emmy responds, because she's a mess. She was like, oh, only if you vote Day for AFP, and like sent the link. And then this guy voted for Day, which was funny. It's hilarious. Well, so I tweeted it. It was very controversial because everyone was saying how I was encouraging her to be lying to these people about voting. And then they somehow blamed her for this meme. And I was like, y'all, no one is falling for this. But I guess people are. I thought it was a joke, but I mean, you can't believe anything on the internet these days.
No.
All right. Well, I will. So I did get into a brief squabble on one of the Facebook Big Brother.
I need to join the Facebook groups. That's where I haven't quite dove into that.
They're not that good. Like I feel like the Survivor ones are a lot better. So there's a couple. There's like 3 good Survivor Facebook groups, and then the rest are just horrible. And then I think the majority of the Big Brother, it's just like the majority of the conversation is, if there was like a football game or or the debate, whatever moved it is just like, oh my God, there's no Big Brother tonight. Like, and it's just like, yeah, it's on at 9, and I'm just like, how do you find out this information? I'm just like, motherfucking Google. Like, what the fuck? The days of the fucking week.
I'm guilty of that though. Sometimes I've gotten to the habit where I like use social media as my Google.
Oh no.
So
Because there's so many dumbasses that give you. It's just like, I don't think it's on. And it's just like, what? Like, and scrolling through 18 dumbasses to get to one semi-dumb is just like maybe an hour late. So no, it's Google. It's Google. But like they were talking about Janelle, if she wins AFP, she's donating all the money to Give Kids the World Village.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah. And so people are like, she's just saying that. You don't know if she's really doing it. And I'm like, motherfucker.
I think people would definitely hold her accountable.
And didn't she just donate a shit ton of money to them?
She donated, so she sold her necklace that she wore on her eviction, her Janelle necklace. She sold that on eBay. It was sold through the Give Kids the World eBay account. Mm-hmm. That's who sold it. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't, Janelle's like, I'll give you a part of it. It was like they sold it for her.
And just so Janelle, she doesn't care. Like she's like it's like literally like I didn't have this money before, like whatever.
Yeah. So and I've been to Give Kids the World Village with Janelle, and like when they bring you on the room and at the Give Kids the World Village, they explain to you why you're there for that the super fun weekend. There's an hour that's not super fun, and you're crying your eyes out, and it's one of the most emotional things. Like what this charity does is just so incredible. And I've been in the room, I've seen tears going down her face while there's a black hole where there should be a heart, and I'm crying. So I know this is legit, and I know that she's not let me scam this chair. Like they know how much CBS is giving her if she wins AFP. It's $25,000. It's not a secret. So if she is putting out there across all of her social media, staking her reputation on it, hey, if I win this, I'm giving them the $25,000. Guess how much he's giving them? $25,000.
Exactly. Yeah. I haven't seen anyone like debunking that, but I mean, like, because Janelle's a friend of mine, so I've heard her firsthand say how, because of COVID, the Give Kids the World Foundation lost out on so much money this year because they weren't able to have all their big events. Yeah. So I think it's really cool that she's done as much for them as she has.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's huge.
And I think there's also the other conspiracy that she's just saying that she's doing it and actually giving it because that'll help her. She wants that title so bad. And I'm like, I don't think she gives a fuck about the title.
Yeah, I was like, I do not think she gives a fuck. Like literally, like
right.
I don't know who's saying that, but I promise you, Janelle doesn't care. Like, I think it'd be cool for her to win, but like, when you think of like Janelle back in her heyday of like reality TV, like back when she was on Big Brother and she like season, like her first 2 seasons,
6 and 7.
Yeah. But it was like she was. Like that was such a different time of reality TV. Like she was like winning awards, like award shows. Like she does not care about like social. Like I don't know. It's just like she just has like a different mindset when it comes to stuff like that. And it's funny because I've like kind of helped her out a little bit with like influencer stuff, and she'll be like, "This is way too hard." She's like, "This isn't worth my time." Like she just like doesn't like she just literally does her. So I think that's funny that people would even say that. But
yeah, if you want an example of that, watch tonight's pre-jury segment when the directions from CBS were clearly say something positive about every player and something negative about every player. And she said, "Fuck that. I'm only saying negative shit. I have nothing good to say."
Yeah, she was like, yeah, that's weird. And I don't like people that say that about her must like not follow her because she's a mom. Like she's a mom. She lives a great life. She's a successful businesswoman. Like she doesn't care.
Yeah, I know.
And that's what we love about her, right?
Exactly.
She clearly doesn't give a fuck, and we love her.
Yeah,
I know. I wish she would have stayed around longer.
Oh, yes, we all do. We've been talking earlier this season, like there's rumored innuendo of a potential celebrity season in February, but that could potentially be replaced with the legend season. Okay. What do you got?
Nothing exciting because at the end of the day, these bitches will lie to me all they want because they know that I can't keep a secret. Because here I am reading text message receipts off my phone. Yeah. So I texted Robin a screenshot because it's that spoiler girl 11. Y'all know who she is. She's always wrong.
I'm following her now, so way to go.
No, don't even bother because she's always wrong.
Oh, okay, never mind. Sorry, spoiler girl 11.
Yeah, if you want to follow any spoiler account, follow Gamer Bev. I'm a huge fan of Gamer Bev. But she or he, I don't even know who or But they mostly do the challenge. But Spoiler Girl 1, I always see people quoting her as some like source, and she's always wrong. But with that being said, she tweeted out, "With no survivor, CBS is considering a winter season or BB Celeb." So I screenshotted that and texted it to Robin. I said, "Is this true? I have some Instagram clout now. Do I qualify as a celeb?" And Robin said, "I've heard nothing about it. If it was true, I would have started casting months ago." And then I said, "Okay, well, if y'all," I said, "Okay, well, let me know if y'all need a celebrity. I'm available." So I don't know. Like sometimes these rumors start, and they don't really. I don't know. So I don't know. I personally don't know if that's true, but I do know that they do. Celebrity Big Brother or Big Brother, I guess itself, they do have that winter season blocked off. Whether they're going to use it or not, they have it. So.
Okay. Well, I'm just thinking, why wouldn't they? I mean, we have no survivor in the spring. We have no Amazing Race has taken Survivor's time slot.
Like, why don't they do a lot of things? I mean,
Well,
like last season, why didn't they do a winter season last season? But they didn't.
Yeah, I mean, but we're watching an Amazing Race that was filmed in 2018 that might have never seen the light of day if it wasn't for the coronavirus.
Oh, really? See, I didn't even wait. That's weird. So I don't watch Amazing Race. Why didn't they air it?
Because no one watches The Amazing Race.
We keep
But tune in to Survivor NSFW for continuing coverage of The Amazing Race. This week's Wednesday night episode will be delayed until Thursday because, of course, we are covering the Big Brother finale, which is 2 hours, and then doing a live podcast right after. So we will not have Wednesday night TAR coverage, but check us at Survivor NSFW on Thursday. We will be covering the third episode from this season's Amazing Race that was filmed in 2018.
That's funny.
This isn't even the first time, Kat, that the Amazing Race has been on its last legs for years. Everybody thinks it's going away. And this is what they do. They will put this might be the longest, 2 years, but it's certainly 12 to 18 months is pretty common. They'll film it and then they'll just kind of put it in the can and wait for, some other show to die. I was like, oh yeah, we have this. We can.
That's so funny. It's like a cockroach.
But it just refuses to die.
Yeah, it's been moved to Friday night. Yeah, it's been moved to Friday nights at 10 o'clock, which is the death spot. It's been moved to Sunday night. Whatever the worst, it's made it there. And then LeBron James's show, Titan Games or whatever, that was an epic fail. So that got put on after Survivor last year, and so it keeps getting CPR by events in the world and poor production that make it live one more breath.
I've had a couple of friends here in Dallas that have been on Amazing Race, and not that I'm about to confirm all the stereotypes about me when I say this, so I don't mean it like that, but here it goes. But I noticed that they didn't really have a lot of Instagram followers, so I assumed that not a lot of people watched it. But I know 3 people that were on Amazing Race.
Well, the crazy thing is, so we do the video version of the show, but our primary audience is audio. I mean, we started as an audio only podcast. Audio? We're audio, we're on.
Oh thank God! Oh my gosh! Because
we're video too.
Hideous. Oh.
Yeah, no, we're video too. But our primary, but our primary audience is audio, and because so that's how we started. So of course, subscribe at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Apple, Amazon Music, or wherever you podcast. So, but our numbers for the Amazing Race podcast were huge for the premiere and carried over to the second episode. So I'm just like, all right, well, I guess they have their fans.
It's probably an untapped network. There's probably not very many podcasts that, and also because y'all are good at what you do, but there's probably not really a lot of Amazing Race podcasts.
Yeah, no, just like Labor of Love. After week 2, we were at, and our numbers were just boom, boom. We're just like, oh wow.
That's Labor of Love.
For the Labor of Love it's like The Bachelor, except at the end, she wants you to make a kid with her and not necessarily marry her. And Charlotte from Sex and the City was the executive producer.
Wait, that is so funny. Okay, so I'm 30, and next year January I'll be turning 31. It's about that time. Is it a CBS show?
Fox.
Because I'm still under contract with CBS. I was about to email Allison.
When is your contract end?
Put me on Labor for Love.
When does your contract end? How much time you got?
I don't even know. I think
Marcus from Survivor was on there.
Oh, well, I think I have until end of season 23. It's a 2-year contract. I don't know. I'm not doing anything that breaks it. I don't think. They haven't sued me yet, so I just kind of truck along until they let me know I'm free.
There you go. Well, this won't air until that potentially. I think you'll be all right. Fuck it. Roll the dice.
Hey, the girl who was on the show was 40, so you've got plenty of time.
Well, no, not really. My eggs are drying up as they speak.
All right. We got Eggs Benedict Kat with us tonight. All right. more of the Friday night episode before we go into tonight's HOH real quick. Watching the Friday, there's a lot of people that don't like the Friday night episode. There's been some times in the past where I'm like, oh, there's no real meat on the bone here. I thought this was one of the better Friday night episodes in the history.
I've never seen a Friday night episode like this, but I liked it.
Yeah, I thought, and what was the most jarring to me was it looked like they were having fun in the house, and why didn't we see this as viewers?
That's what I was yelling at the TV the whole time. This was gold content for every episode I hated.
Yeah,
because they cut the feeds so much. Apparently, I don't know any different, but I've heard that the feeds are cut like considerably more than usual this season.
Yeah, they are.
Well,
but put it on the episode. You don't
put it on the
the Friday night clip episode.
They're too busy talking about Enzo getting walked in on the bathroom and Nicole sneezing and Cody talking about his nose. There's prime content that they cannot cut out.
Well, no, the problem was, I believe every episode was, over half the episode was the actual comp, and
there's been a lot of,
and the other quarter of the episode was them talking about the comp, what they were going to do for the comp, and what they did during the comp, and what happened after, and that's it. There was no
yeah. Why?
If you have to devote a total of half the episode for talking about the comp and the comp, so be it. I think a third is more than enough.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm wondering whether the issue is, again, this year, the kind of social gameplay that you would normally see in the house and is good for an episode is something that we're not really seeing, right? Because most of the gameplay happened before they ever went into the house. So they can't really show us building those relationships.
Well, they can still show us. I mean, they can. I don't care if they show us building relationships. Just show us them interacting in the house. That's why people watch Big Brother. People don't give a fuck about a 5-piece puzzle.
Yeah, it's a similar complaint I have with the more recent seasons of Survivor. It's lazy editing. You're replacing actual characterization with game elements and production design.
Yeah,
no one cares about that.
Y'all watch the feeds though, right? Or do y'all?
Oh well, I stopped, but I did.
Yeah. We all stopped. I watch it every once in a while. It's boring, not worth it. Don't recommend. Well, but actually, I do recommend because CBS would like me to say I recommend. So yeah.
Oh, well, there you go.
CBS All Access, $10.99 a month, I think. But anyways, no, there hasn't been a lot of gameplay talk. I don't think.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't care.
So,
I don't need gameplay talk. I want them living like the Dave Chappelle episode talking about like when they did the parody of The Real World. It's like, like the guy, the white guys asked them all to work, and it's just like, motherfuckers don't want to see us work. They want to see us fucking live. I want to see them live.
yeah, that is true. I don't know. It just, I don't know.
They found that it's complacency in a formulaic structure that they're just like, cut and paste. This is every fucking episode. Here we go. Cut and paste. We're done.
I wonder if they have had a little bit of a challenge because maybe they have a smaller production team than usual because of COVID.
I just think I just think the whole thing is predictable because everyone had an alliance going into the game, and it made for, if you're playing the game and your alliance is good, cool, but for the viewer, it just kind of was like every time we watch and do a podcast, it's like kind of saw that one coming. There was no huge move, like you were saying. There was no gameplay standout thing that happened this season where you're like, jaw is dropping. And as a viewer of watching a show, I want that, and I haven't gotten that,
Yeah, I mean, I guess like the pre-gaming hasn't really been confirmed nor denied, but I wish that they would have at least addressed it, because I feel like they could have, because at the end of the day, like it's all-stars, so people are gonna have like biases coming into the game. Like they're gonna know people, they're gonna have their little relationships, whether it was gaming or not. They could have at least like addressed it, so then we wouldn't have been in the dark about that.
They did on Survivor. They did because
that's what I heard. That it was like a storyline.
Well, you had the relationship with Michelle and Wendell. They Michelle was under the impression that they had been dating prior, and Wendell was under the impression. Well, he was under the impression that they were just kicking it.
Oh, that's tea.
Yeah, and so there's that potential alliance, which Wendell's debunking, and then if there is an alliance, he's at this point destroyed because he says they were just kicking it. And then there's this poker alliance that's called out because there was a group that had played on this poker thing on television, and they actually showed a clip on Survivor of them playing poker on this poker from ESPN. That's insane. I was so I'm jumping up and down. I'm just like, yes, the fucking poker alliance is outed. Not only is it outed, we've been given proof as a viewer. They're discussing it on the fucking island. That's good TV.
Yeah, I don't know why they don't on Big Brother. They hate us.
Right. Because normally, especially with an all-star season, because again, everybody knows that there are relationships and super fans, know more about the kind of relationships that might be there. But that's like you said, Johnny, they did it for Survivor. Yeah. It's not the kind of thing they've ever done before, but they realized people are not going to really understand this game if we don't explain some of this background to people who don't, think about these people except when they're on their TV. So they know how to do it.
Yeah, and even contact fucking ESPN, a rival fucking network owned by ABC.
The footage, you mean?
That's so funny. I love that. What tea? Wow.
Yeah. So it's great. I mean, as I said, for someone that knew the people out there, knew what was potentially gonna happen when they went out there, and purposely staying away from spoilers because, I like to watch the show as a fan and enjoy it and talk about what I see as I see it. Even though I'm like I know those motherfuckers played poker together. I know Michelle and Wendell were kicking it, or possibly more, based on
according to Michelle, but according to Wendell, he's a single man.
So I knew these things, and watching it, I'm just like, holy fuck! Wait, kudos, guys, thank you,
man. Well, yeah, Big Brother can't relate.
Yeah, but do you guys think in the final jury questioning, if any of the wall yellers come up or any of the pre-gaming comes up, if that's going to be allowed, or are they going to shut that down before it happens?
No. Because they would, if they were welcoming that, they would have made it a storyline.
Yeah, it's so
why? It's because they don't want because I feel like by giving attention to the wall yellers, they know that it would just cause a bigger problem for next season because it's gonna glamorize the wall yelling.
Yeah. Could it get any worse? I don't know if it could get any worse than this year, but
yeah,
that's all right.
I honestly feel like I wrote a whole thread about this earlier this season on Twitter. They should literally just legalize wall yelling, have it be a free for all, and so then if people can come out and they can yell whatever they want, and it's up to the house guests if they want to believe it or not. It's okay, it's just part of the game. It's they might be telling the truth, they might not. They might be trying to give you information, or they might be trying to throw you off your game.
Yeah, everyone has
utilizing the drug trade.
Yeah, I would love to see people get their games fucked up by believing some fucked up shit. I would actually go out there and wall yell.
I almost did this season, but I was going to be funny about it.
What were you going to say?
Are you bitches conspiring against me?
There you go. Yeah.
But then I even texted some of my producer friends, and I was like, "Would this be funny?" And they said yes, and I said, "But would I get in trouble?" And they said they don't know. So I was like, I don't know, because I could picture myself getting arrested and then being like, "It was a joke," and then Allison Grodner's like, "Arrest her." So I didn't do it, but I was about to. I was going to.
Wow. There you go. On your list of big moves throughout the Big Brother seasons, did it say for Big Brother 22, according to Julie Chen Moonves, Memphis was responsible for every eviction for the first half of the game, or was that not mentioned?
Well, no, but I will say I feel it was okay. So Julie gave him a lot of credit. A lot.
Yes. that we did not see on the show. I'm friends with Memphis, so I would love for that to be true, but I didn't see any of that.
Memphis did play a pretty solid game.
I would have loved to have seen it.
Give him credit for, but there's just not been a lot of good game players this season because they've just been chilling, and I feel like Memphis was somewhat making moves.
Yeah, no. I think he was. I said I just would have loved to have seen anything. I mean,
I
they
know,
just
same.
chose not to show us.
Yeah, like I wish that we had the character that Julie thought Memphis was.
What I potentially believe that was true. I just don't understand why they couldn't show us. He had to have done something in the fucking.
I wonder if I mean, again, I'm not going to confirm or deny pre-game rumors because personally I don't know. But I was under the impression that they were trying to hide all of the pre-gaming rumors under Memphis. Like they were like, oh, like Memphis. Like Julie talking about Memphis is like code word for like pre-game.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I felt like she was giving him all the credit of the pre-gaming rumors. Like, so like to catch us up, like to catch the viewers up and be like, oh, oh, this is going on. Oh, it's because Memphis did this. But it was really maybe because of some pre-gaming. I don't know. But again, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, I can live with that. All right. Shoot. Okay, well, we're 35 minutes in and we haven't even talked the first HOH. So let's take our first and only commercial break. When we come back, we're gonna talk the first part of the HOH, part one of the HOH competition for the final HOH. And we may or may not learn that endurance competitions are not Enzo's thing. And if that's the case, I would like to know what is. We'll be right back. This episode is brought to you by Fracture. Fracture turns your digital images into beautiful glass prints. That's right, they print your photos directly on glass, transforming your memories into handcrafted, frameless prints. Like this one, the one behind me, I have the Survivor NSFW logo with me, Matt, and Zach. Oh my God, it's the coolest thing. I'm so excited to have this in my life. Zach, tell us more about Fracture.
Yeah, Fracture helps you focus on the moments that matter most by turning your favorite memories into beautiful glass prints like that one. Fracture prints directly on really durable glass that has soft edges for safe handling. The prints come in multiple sizes and there's no frame required at all to mount it on the wall. And each print comes with a 100% happiness guarantee. That means if for any reason you don't love your print, Fracture is going to make it right. The glass prints also make unique gifts for your friends and family that they'll never forget. Johnny, can you tell them how they can save?
Yeah, but before I do, I received this huge box with my Fracture print in it. At the bottom, there's even a screw to go into the wall. These guys are ready for this. Like, it's no additional mounting. There's none of that. This thing is ready to rock and roll. And boom, Fracture prints look incredible. You really have to see it to believe it. Upload your photo at fractureme.com/survivor to print your photo on glass today. And we have a special deal, and here's what we got. Go to fractureme.com. That's fractureme.com/survivor. Enter promo code SURVIVOR, and you get 20% off your order.
That's fractureme.com/survivor with promo code SURVIVOR, and you save 20% off your Fracture glass print. We thank Fracture for sponsoring this episode of Survivor NSFW.
Let's talk about something we could all use more of right now. Sex. Great sex. Now look, I love sex, Zach. I don't know about you. It's my favorite. It's my favorite. And I don't like a little bit of sex. I like a whole lot of sex. And so, guys, now you can increase your performance and get that extra confidence in bed. Listen up, BlueChew.com. That's blue like the color blue.
Blue Chew brings you the first chewable with the same FDA-approved active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis.
Now, you can take them anytime, day or night, even on a full stomach, so you can be ready whenever an opportunity arises.
Not only that, Blue Chew's made in the USA. It's prescribed online by licensed physicians, so you don't have to go to the doctor or wait in line. It's even cheaper than a pharmacy, and they prepare and ship it right to you in a discreet package. No awkwardness, and you don't even have to leave the house.
Now, if you could benefit from more confidence where it counts, Blue Chew is the fast and easy way to enhance your performance. Guys, this isn't me reading ad copy here. This is Johnny Fairplay when he knows action is about to go down. I grab the Blue Chew, I peel it open, chew it up, and I go, get ready, we're going to Pound Town. Someone is going over. Someone is winning a championship tonight. That's right. And that could be you, because right now we've got a special deal for our listeners. Visit bluechew.com and get your first shipment free when you use our special promo code SURVIVOR. Just pay the $5 shipping. Again, that's BLUECHEW.com, bluechew.com. Use promo code SURVIVOR to try it for free. Blue Chew is the better, cheaper choice, and we thank them for sponsoring the podcast. And remember, when you support our sponsors, you help this podcast be possible. So please use our promo code SURVIVOR at bluechew.com. All right, I just took a Blue Chew. I'm going to go.
Wondered where you slipped off to. Perfect.
Wait, me?
Wow, it's going to be an exciting night. Just me. I think Blue Chew works better when you have someone else.
Well, yeah, I hear you, Johnny. So, well, why don't you just ask Kat out on a date?
I have a lot of boyfriends. I cannot handle another one. I'm so sorry.
You have to vote for Davon 10 times.
Yeah. Well, that's if you're talking to my stan. Always, guys, always make sure you're talking to the verified Catherine Dunn. But I have my roster's full.
Yeah.
I will let you know when.
I've seen your Twitter.
They
You seem
rotate often, so I'll let you know next week. Check back in.
Oh well, I mean, I'll be covering Amazing Race.
Okay, well, the one that got away.
All right, so let's talk tonight. Everything we saw. We had each player tell us the reasons why they should win Big Brother All Stars. We start with Enzo. Did Enzo explain to us why he thought he should win? Because I heard nothing that made me want to vote for Enzo after
I think that's why they put him at the beginning.
Yeah.
It kind of started it started like a fun diary room session. I was like, oh, okay, this is fun. And then I was like, oh wait, they're talking about their strategies. But I will say about Enzo, I think we as viewers are underestimating his ability to win if he makes it to final two. I think he's a lot. And again, I say these opinions and Twitter absolutely roasts me like I don't know what I'm talking about. I haven't been through this before. But sure. I feel like Enzo actually has a lot of the same qualities that, say, Tommy had in my season, where as viewers, maybe y'all didn't pick up on his gameplay, but the likability factor goes so far in getting people's jury votes. And I think so many people like Enzo, that I think that Enzo would be able to maybe pull out a win just based on likability alone.
Yeah, he definitely needs to focus on his social game if that's going to be the argument he makes. I think the deep irony about it was that he was trying to justify his strategy, but what he said was his strategy was easily his worst move in the game, which was keeping Nicole at the triple. Don't talk about that. That's your worst thing to bring up.
Okay, but here's the thing, people. Okay, so would y'all consider yourselves super fans of the game?
Enough.
Okay. You know who doesn't consider themselves super fans of the game?
Any of these three?
The entire jury, the entire cast of Big Brother 22. I feel like there's people that watch Big Brother and they're super fans and they are looking at every single tiny little detail of the gameplay and they're looking at every single tiny detail of the speech that they give and whatnot. I promise you, there's maybe 2 people in the jury that would be swayed by the speech. Everyone else has probably already decided who they're going to vote for. I already knew going into when I was voting, I already knew I was voting for Holly. There's nothing that Mickey could have said to make me vote for him to win. There's just nothing. And there's a lot of people in the jury that were that same way. Yeah. Actually, I'm not sure if anyone on my jury could have been swayed by the final discussions at all.
Well, I don't think it's the final jury speech. It's just the gameplay going to there. I mean, I can tell you, Survivor.
The jury doesn't see that though. They experience what they experienced, so they remember how someone made them feel. They remember being friends with somebody. They don't know what we see. They don't know about so and so devising a plan to do whatever. And I don't think that the jury is not a bunch of masterminds like you think they are. And I think
I will say this too. I think for me as a viewer, Enzo's the most entertaining out of the 3 remaining people. And Enzo has a family. I don't know what Cody's deal is. Nicole already has money from her first win. And
well, probably not. I would blow through $500,000. I would blow through it, especially when
Right.
it was season 18. That was like 4 years ago. Yeah, she doesn't
true,
have that.
but I think that if you have the Enzo kid, I'm doing this for my kids. I think for some people that goes a long way.
That shit works on Survivor big time.
But I also feel like I see a lot of people on Twitter, especially with like the whole AFP drama that's going on. Like a lot of people like to pull the whole like, oh, you should vote for this person because they're a single mom, or like, you know, with Enzo, he has kids. It's like, yo, we don't know anything about their financial situation at all. So I feel like that really doesn't play like, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Well, Enzo, aside from that, for me, Enzo's the most fun out of the three remaining players. The whole season, it's like, man, and at least there's Enzo. Out of all the people left in the house, he's kind of like just the entertainment value. You know what I mean?
He's the me of my season, and I really think that he could, with a jury win, I really think that he could pull off a win. I think that I could see them dragging him to the final two, thinking that they would absolutely beat him. But I don't know if it would be like a Josh, for instance, of season 19. Like, I'm sure Paul thought, like, oh, I could for sure beat Josh. But sometimes likability just goes a lot farther than game moves.
Yeah. Do you think either Cody or Nicole are so unlikable they're in Paul territory with this jury, though?
I wouldn't say necessarily unlikable, but I think that I don't know. I mean, I have an unpopular opinion about Cody. I'm not sure if Cody has really stood out, and I know I'm going to get crucified. I already have on Twitter. It's whatever. But like, I feel like Cody's game moves don't stand out that much to really sway a jury in his favor. I also don't think he's been that likable to anybody to sway a jury in his favor as compared to Enzo and as compared to Nicole. Because I think that Nicole also has a lot of clout riding on the fact that she was a returning winner who managed to get her way all the way to the final two. I mean, that's like both in my podcast, because I ask everyone what their conspiracy is for the season. And I'm going to have to go back and listen to everyone's answers. But I know for sure Memphis said that, like, the fact that she would make it all the way to the final two, she's going to win. And I know that David had mentioned that before during the show, that her making it to final two would deserve a win.
David said that based on, like, it's the only person he heard of that's won. David said that based on that's the only person that he's heard of that's won the game.
Well, no, but I will say that, like, but the other thing is everyone in jury talks, and I don't know. Like, I could see, like, and I think it was last week's episode. When was it where Danny was getting so heated about rooting for Cody?
Every time his name has come up.
Every night they show the jury. That's a turnoff to people. Like, that is going to turn people away from voting for Cody.
And it was also clear that the whole house was against Danny. The way that was structured, they're all kind of sitting arms crossed at her. So I think you might be onto something.
So I don't know. Like, I know that we as viewers, and again, this is the hill that I'll die on. So if Cody ends up winning, I'll admit it. I'll admit I was wrong. But I feel like we as viewers, because we've seen Cody just kind of like coast through the season and not have to have any sort of problems because he's been protected by his alliance and he's played a solid game. I think we are all like, oh, he's the clear winner. But I don't think the jury thinks so. And I really don't know if he would be a slam dunk win against Nicole and Enzo.
Yeah. So, Kat, this is something because you've been in the house. So obviously, obviously it's easier to see from the outside. But in this case, I mean, I would feel, even if I was in that house, I have a feeling that they know that he's been running the game.
See, I don't know if they do. Like, that's the thing that I don't really know is, I don't know.
And I mean, in Memphis, Memphis could be mad. Memphis could be mad at Cody for getting rid of him, or being instrumental in getting rid of him. Yeah. And Memphis shows up in the jury house and it's just like, I called all the shots. It was all me. Ask Julie Chen Moonves. She'll tell you.
Well, I was going to say, I feel like a lot of the things that Cody could necessarily take credit for as running the game, I feel like Memphis could also take credit for running the game. So what if Memphis goes in and he's like, I was the one running the game, you know, this is it, everyone believes Memphis. Like I just feel like Cody played such a safe game that has been so just level that I don't know if I just don't know if he has what it takes to like pull his win out of, you know, whatever. But I will say that he was my preseason prediction. So I hope he wins because that'll give me some clout. But I just don't know if like for instance, okay. And I hate to say this because it's nothing against this person, but I go on Reddit and there's still these like in-depth detailed threads about how Nicole Anthony would have for sure won BB21. And I'll be honest, Nicole Anthony had not a shot in hell to win Big Brother 21. She just didn't, not with the jury, because we didn't know what she was doing. We didn't know what her gameplay was. We didn't know, like, I guess like as viewers, y'all saw her as like an obvious like threat to win the game because y'all loved her and y'all voted for AFP and y'all like obviously saw a lot of her on the edited show, but we as a jury did not see any of the gameplay that she was doing. So it kind of came down to the general consensus of, okay, well, I guess it really depended on, honestly, it really depended on what she would say during her jury questions that would maybe sway us. But like, I feel like for the internet and for Reddit and for Twitter, it was like Nicole's a slam dunk win to win Big Brother. And for the jury, she was never even a consideration. It was like Mickey first, Holly second, then maybe Nicole. So that's why I'm like kind of like whenever I hear people talking about who they think is going to win, I'm like,
I think a lot of people know the difference because I'm saying I love Nicole on her season.
I do too.
Just met her, love her, but I never thought she was going to win.
Yeah,
I mean, I
exactly.
did not think it was going to happen.
Yeah, I can tell you on Survivor, like I finished third, and when I got to the Ponderosa and everyone, you know, kind of swarmed the next, like I wouldn't talk to anybody the first, like I picked one person. I was just like, I want to talk to Burton, that's it. And then the next morning, everyone kind of swarmed. They're just like, okay, what happened? And I was just like, well, as you all know, you know, I dictated this game. I controlled it for, you know, from here to here, and you know, people believed me, and you know, and it was true. So and so they're like, okay, as someone that controlled the game, where should our vote go? And I can tell you that I was potentially influential to some people, but I know for a fact that people had made up their own minds before they even asked me that. And even asking the person that they felt controlled the game. So you have someone like Memphis, you know, who comes in, you know, potentially with a grudge, you know, with a walking into the jury house with a grudge and saying, you know, hey, I did all this. Cody didn't, so screw him. So there's potentially people that are just like, well, if Memphis, who we potentially thought was in control of everything, if he's saying that it wasn't Cody, that discredits Cody. And then there's also people that, you know, they're just like, well, I just like Enzo, or I just like Nicole, or I just like Cody. I mean, like, you know, I think Danny's championing Cody as we saw on. So our first look at the jury house, we see Enzo's name mentioned, and it was just like, oh, he's done nothing. He talks big moves.
But you also have to realize that whenever they come to the jury house, I'm probably not even supposed to say this kind of information because whatever, they literally show up at the jury house at like 10 a.m. that day and they don't leave until sundown. Like they have tidbits on every single person in the house.
Sure.
Like it's literally like they go through every person and they're like, okay, so what do you think about Enzo? What do you think about this person? What do you think about that person? What do you think about that person compared to that person? You know, like they get the footage that they want. So that's why you really can't pay attention to what they say.
I wasn't basing it on the words that they were saying. Yeah. I was basing on the body language of the reactions when people would say it, because you would have the eye rolls, you would have the nod in agreement. So like, you know, when we first see the jury house, you know, a lot of us are thinking as viewers, it's like Enzo's pretty likable. And we saw a lot of, no, he ain't done shit. And that's followed up with this last look at the jury house, you know, when you see Danny, you know, talk about how great Cody is. As I said, like as Zach mentioned, the arms crossed, and it's just like, all right, enough of the fucking Cody talk. Like we got your point of view. we're free thinkers as well.
Yeah.
So and you saying it over and over again is not only not helping, it's hurting his cause.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think of like, I feel like everyone, I mean, say what you want to say about Big Brother 22, but I do feel like everyone in the jury is a lot of independent thinkers. I think in 21, there were a lot of dependent thinkers that were voting because maybe their showmance was voting on somebody, or like they just were like, oh, like it was like, okay, well, who are y'all voting for? Then I'll vote for them because they didn't really know what's going on. But yeah, but I mean, I think that season 22 does have a lot of independent thinkers. So I don't know, we'll see. But also independent thinkers, but people that might get irritated if like, because I remember in my season, like Jack and Nick were so gung-ho about Mickey winning. Like they were like, he's the GOAT, he's the best to ever play, blah, blah, blah. And some of us would like roll our eyes and be like, okay. But some people, as they voted, they fell for it. And I don't know if we're going to see that in season 22. I don't know if there's as like many gullible people on the jury.
Yeah. I'm buying into the conspiracy. I love it.
Sure.
I hope so.
But also, with that being said, I don't think that Enzo's going to make it to final two.
Yeah.
I think that Cody and Nicole are going to take themselves. Like, I think it's literally like the same scenario as there's like Mickey and Holly as the duo and then Nicole. And like, I know that like probably last year y'all were like, oh, but what about this scenario where Holly cuts Mickey and takes Nicole? It's like, y'all, like realistically, that's not going to happen. Like, I think realistically it's going to be not Holly and Mickey. Realistically, it's going to be Nicole and Cody, and Enzo's not going to make it there. And it just kind of, I don't know, but maybe Cody thinks that Nicole, like, while he was saying tonight that he didn't want to make the mistake of taking someone that he would lose against, what if he thinks Nicole is the person that he would not lose against because he's like, oh, no one would ever vote for her to win for a second time.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
And Nicole said that you would be surprised who she would take.
Well, can we go into spoilers real quick?
I don't believe her. I really, if she takes Enzo, that's a bold ass move. Because her and Enzo don't even have a final two.
Yeah, no, if she would actually cut Cody, I would.
That would be crazy. I would, but
I
she
don't think it's going to happen, but I would absolutely love it.
She would. If she did, she would like practice her. She'd be like, okay, let me practice this so America doesn't hate me. Like,
yeah, she was practicing.
This is the hardest thing I've ever had to do.
She's been practicing her speech.
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, we
made to think that she's going to do anything.
Well, we went hardcore conspiracy on the last episode in which they got their Zoom calls from home. And you know, as we all know, when Nicole got her letter on her HOH, she wasn't told that Victor was proud of her. Okay. And I think Victor being proud of her was code for cut Cody. And so the fact that
that's a conspiracy. That is a fucking conspiracy. Damn.
Okay. And the fact that he didn't say he was proud of her. And so she was just like, fuck. She was just like, you know, I'm thinking in my head, Cody's playing the best game. The best thing for my game would be to cut Cody. The fact that he's not proud of me means maybe I shouldn't cut Cody. You know, that maybe I was wrong, and you know, so I keep Cody. Then when she gets the Zoom call, when he says she's proud, like she sits back and she goes, he's proud of me. Now it's time to pull the fucking trigger and get rid of this motherfucker.
Wait, hold on. Wait, so he said he was not proud of her, so she was like, oh, that was code for cut Cody.
Well, no. He did not tell her he was proud of her in the letter. So that meant don't cut Cody yet. And then when he said she was, because like she was upset that he wasn't proud, and she was just like, man, like, you know, as a player, I think my best move is to get rid of Cody. And the fact that he didn't tell me he was proud, which was our code for Cody, that like maybe I'm wrong. So she didn't cut it.
Can I tweet this and act like it's my own thought? I'm kidding. Okay, no, that is. Have you tweeted this yet?
So then when she gets the Zoom call and says he's proud, she was like, now it's time. Now I know who my final person is, and it is not fucking Cody because he's proud of me.
I don't know if this is true. I don't care if it's true, but I love this conspiracy.
Right?
Yeah, but
I think we're just very creative.
Yeah. Oh, do what, Karen?
I said I think we're just very bored, and as a result, we're trying to get more and more creative.
Well,
Yeah,
there was obviously
Victor didn't come up with that.
There was obviously code to the letter. That letter was written by Rain Man.
I will say, as somebody who's gotten a letter before,
Yeah.
Okay, so when I was in jury, they gave us letters, and I remember because I felt for Nicole, because when I got my letter from my parents, it was very cold. It was very like, it was not their words. Like I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, I even told them, I was like, I wish y'all didn't give me this because it's just fucked me up. And like, now I'm just going to be paranoid for the next 2 weeks because like, I literally, I cried all night to the point that the PAs had to like come up to my room and be like, hey, like you need to like get out of bed and like live. Like, it's not that serious. But I was so upset because the letter was so oddly written. So when I got out of the house, I asked my parents, I was like, why was my letter so awkward? And they said that there was a lot of rules for how they wrote my letter. So they felt awkward writing it. But at the same time, I told them what the letter said. And they also said, that was the letter that we wrote to you like week 2. Like, I guess people write like a new, like, I guess maybe they like email everyone's parents or whoever is on like their HOH list and like say, okay, submit your letter in case they win HOH. So I guess there's like a new letter every week or something. And they just randomly picked out a letter. Because the letter that I got at the end of the season, my parents claim that they wrote like beginning of the season.
Yeah. Well, on Survivor, we're on the other side of the world. Yeah. So the letter I got, like towards the end of the game was written 3 days after I left.
Yeah. So see, it's like, so whenever I hear these like code word things, because I thought the same thing. I was like, oh, coding is like, that's genius to have your parent or your loved one write a code word. Like, perfect.
Well, Evil did code, like his son.
But what if your parents or your person that wrote the letter, what if they wrote that week 2, and then as you know, week 6, it's completely different. And then they screwed you over.
Well, I mean,
and they would both know that, having played recently. So
I don't know. It's just like like for that reason, I don't even know if I would want I don't even know if I'd want them to write a code word, because I feel like it might get delivered too late, and then I'm screwed over.
I would insist on the person writing me the letter put a date at the top of like.
But CBS prints it out.
They won't let you. Yeah,
they won't let you.
This is interesting. I've never heard this
on my letter.
I've never heard this, but it makes a lot of sense that if you're not sending that letter in anything like real time, then like you said,
it's in real time.
It could really blow up in your face.
Exactly. All I wanted was for my parents to tell me who won Miss Texas, and I was so distraught when they didn't.
Yeah. All I wanted was wrestling scoops, and so my buddy just sent wrestling newsletters to me.
They did?
And they're like,
they didn't let
they're like, we can't give you that.
My mom told me they edited it out.
Yeah. Oh, because you're not allowed to know about anything from the outside world.
I was distraught. But how is knowing whoever won Miss Texas, how is that going to affect my gameplay? It's not. Yeah. But
silly.
But yeah, so they're very particular about stuff like that.
All right. So real quick, Cody gives the reasons why he thinks he should win. I think it's a pretty solid list. I mean, he's won a bunch of HOHs. He set the tone for I thought it was good. Not great, but sufficient. I thought Nicole's confidence.
Y'all, I am telling you, Nicole deserves to win Big Brother 22. She just does. And it's like, it's harder because like, I feel like everyone is like, she's going against like more of a obstacle, I guess, because it's like, it's not like with Cody, it'd be his first time winning Big Brother. So it's kind of like, okay, like, should we give him the win for the first time? Maybe. But with Nicole, it's like, should we give her the win for the second time? Should we make her the first 2-time winner? Is she better than Dan Giesling? No. Is she better than Dr. Whale? No. She's better than Derek? No. Like, she's like, there's a lot of players that have won that are stronger than her. But I feel like if you look at her game individually in season 22, it's a winning game.
Yeah. So, and as I said, I
don't think she's the queen of Big Brother. I think that's reserved for Janelle and Daniel Reyes and honestly, even Danny Donato has a better chance of being the queen of Big Brother than Nicole does.
What do we call Nicole Franzel then if she's not the queen and she's a two-time winner?
She's a two-time winner because of how her cards fell, and she played a great game twice.
Yeah.
So, but
I don't think I guess obviously she is she obviously plays a game that works for her, but I don't think it's not a groundbreaking game. It's just a game.
Ask about her game in 18, and basically the best way I can describe it is that she spent the entire time laying in bed with this guy, but everything that she wanted to happen happened.
I heard that, and
but the last part of it is important. I mean, everything she needed to happen happened.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not flashy, it's not showy, but she can just get in there and get people to do what she needs them to do.
Yeah. But I also think that and also with it being said, I don't like Nicole. Honestly, I wanted to go into the season. I have talked to Nicole maybe once or twice in my life, and she was very kind to me. I interviewed on her podcast, so of course the cameras were rolling, so of course she was going to be kind. And our conversation made it to Us Weekly, so of course she was extra kind because we got publicity from it, so whatever. But I do see a lot of the criticism that Nicole gets from being on Big Brother, and I see people calling her Queen Tuggy, and people saying that she slept her way in, and people saying that she gave people hand jobs and whatever. And I think that that's honestly a bunch of shit. I think that from a woman empowerment standpoint, I do think that I am proud of her for being able to go this entire season without laying in bed with a guy and without giving a guy a hand job or whatever the criticism is that she gets. And still making it to final two. I feel like that kind of debunks everything that people said about her. And again, no one's going to agree with me on this because a lot of people like to give into the group, think that she's a slut. But again, I'm somebody who also gets a lot of that criticism because that's just how people are in the BB Twitter sphere or whatever. But I feel like her gameplay, I feel like she's a lot more strategic than people give her credit for. And I don't know. I get really disgusted when people talk about her past showmances because I don't know. I just think that
I agree with you, and I actually lit into Johnny one night when he called her that because I just don't.
Fuck you, Johnny.
And newsflash, there was a guy in bed with her every time.
And they never who the fuck is?
I called them Prince Tug or whatever. I don't care.
Well, let me ask you this, Fair Play. So Sandra Diaz Twine, who you played with, who you always will talk shit about.
Sure.
But you also give her credit.
Yeah.
Sandra won twice. She's played multiple times. She's the queen.
Yeah.
So if Nicole does win, it's not even on the same level as Sandra being a two-time winner of Survivor. You give Sandra more props.
No, I mean, just like people call Parvati the queen and Sandra's the queen, I think people will call Janelle the queen and call Nicole the queen. I went into the season not really knowing Nicole. The more I saw of her, the more I didn't like Nicole. And by tonight's episode, I like Nicole. I think her confidence is infectious. I actually found myself at the end of the episode rooting for Nicole.
Well, that's what you're editing. Don't get ahead of yourself.
Yeah.
Don't get anything. I'm sure she's nice, but she's.
I like the confidence. I like the confidence. I felt if she delivers that speech in a friendly way.
She did a good job tonight. She really did.
Yeah. That's so. But at the same time, no one went. I mean, no one that I'm aware of, with the exception of probably fucking a handful of players ever in the history of Survivor, went into that final jury going, "Ooh, I can't wait to hear their answers, and then I'll make my decision." You know who the fuck you're voting for when you show up.
That's what I was trying to say earlier. People know.
Yeah. So So I don't know. I mean, there could be some people that are potential that are just I don't like Nicole. However, if she doesn't fuck this up, I'll give it to her.
So here's the other thing though. Does anybody in the jury not like Nicole? I don't think that that's a thing. I think that not liking Nicole is a thing on the outside world. I'm not sure if anyone in the jury does not like Nicole.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, like, no one's really, I mean, like the only delusional thing that we've seen in like the past, 6 weeks is, Christmas explaining how she could have beat anyone. And I'm just like, well, I mean, I'm glad that you were playing another game.
I love delusional Christmas so much.
I mean, if she was playing something other than BB22, maybe, I don't know.
He's so self-aware, and I love it.
Yeah.
It was what we said about Nicole for like 11 weeks now at this point, though. I think fans will love her if she will just own her shit. Yeah, I'm underhanded. I work in the shadows, and that's what I do. But she won't own it. Tonight, I thought she did.
Well,
I felt she owned it too.
The thing about so honestly, one of her best game moves, and she won't admit it, and I hate it because there was so much controversy surrounding it. But when she chose to evict Ian, and that was a great game move because because her flipping the vote, blaming it on somebody else, and turning the entire other side of the house against each other, even though she was already in the majority, and they probably would have dominated anyways, but turning them against each other to where she was sure to dominate. That was a great game move. But the fact that she
and when you got a previous winner target on your back, if you can turn other people into a circular firing squad,
If she wins 22, if she wins 22, is that the defining move of the season?
For me personally, I thought that was a great game. I love Ian. I'm an Ian stan. Like, I think that Ian is one of the best Big Brother characters, quote unquote, of all time. But when she turned the vote on him, I was like, wow, that's actually a boss move. But where it went wrong was where she went to the DR. She was like, this is so hard. Like, this is the hardest thing I've ever had to do. It's like, bitch, no. Like, go into the DR and be like, hey, Ian's my friend, but like, I want to win this game. So I choose to evict Ian because blah, 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 blah. But like, why are you faking it to us, bitch? Like, we see literally everything on the live feeds.
Yeah,
so
I just
wish she was more confident in her moves so she could own it. Because it was a great game move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then, like, the big thing for me is she needs to cut Cody. Like I said, I would do an absolute 180 on her if she cuts Cody.
If she cuts Cody, that's a bomb ass move.
Yeah, because that is owning your shit and saying, right, this is what I need to do to win.
Well, I think if she cuts Cody, she wins against Enzo.
Oh yeah,
I think she does too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But up against Cody, I think it's a crapshoot. I think Cody could pull out the win.
Yeah. I feel like it's like literally like it's the exact argument that we had Mickey and Holly last year. It was like, because again, like, while we're doing jury, we don't know what's going on, but we were like, if Holly evicts Mickey, Holly's winning. And if not, then she's not. It was like kind of like if Holly, like if there was any case that Holly evicted Mickey, she would for sure win. Also, if Mickey evicted Holly, he'd for sure win. But of course, he didn't need to because he still won. But it's literally like one of those same exact scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay, so tonight, our first part, endurance comps are not Enzo's thing. So unfortunately, he's first eliminated. And
the scary go round. How much did you like that?
Scary go round. I enjoyed scary go round, but Cody got beat the shit out of in this competition.
Which is funny because Cody's been touting for the past 3 weeks that he's like, well, I'm gonna win the first.
I'm gonna smoke him.
Which is so stupid. So I'm so glad he lost. I like Cody. Don't get me wrong, but like that.
But this is one of those competitions in which size is not your friend, and so of course the potentially 90 pounds or less, Nicole has a decisive advantage and wins.
Yeah.
But the funniest thing to me was just Cody in the DR. And I don't know to what extent, they write those remarks for him, Kat. You can speak to that. But he was just being a whiny bitch. Right?
I'm sure he was pissed.
It was slime. And I was gonna like, no. And it was so bad. I was like, it was Nicole, but it was Cody.
It was so fun watching him slam into the wall so hard. And then as soon as he loses, he rips the shirt off and flashes us the barbed wire and Celtic cross that we love so much.
I think the enjoying having him slammed into the wall is just for all of us who had to sit through the last 3 months.
Yeah.
Cody's not a bad person, but like the fact, like the cockiness that he brought into, he's for sure going to win the first HOA, the first part of the HOA. It's like, it was a little bit humbling to see him lose.
Yeah, it was good. It was good television. And as I said, someone that's not a Nicole supporter, I sat I liked it. I was happy for her. All right, so Now we're at the spoiler section. we are over where we usually are. So part 2 of the HOH. Anyone that does not know, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but shockingly, Enzo did not win. Such part of the HOH.
And to apparently a ridiculous margin. Like I've heard something like, I think they said that it took Enzo something like 37 minutes, maybe 33, and it took Cody 4 minutes.
What? That's what I heard too.
Yeah. And again, I don't know if it's true. Obviously, we haven't seen it yet, but if that is true.
No, I heard the same thing. Cody Enzo said it on the live.
Yeah.
What was the competition?
We don't know yet.
We don't really know. But it was something.
We all know it was like Enzo 37, Cody 4 minutes.
Like, it was a timed competition, and it was 30.
Well, I don't know if you're aware of this, but timed competitions are also not Enzo's thing. which may be mentioned at the beginning of the timed competition that we will be watching at the beginning of the finale.
I mean, it's insane, the symmetry to me of Enzo last time and Enzo this time. Like 10 years has done nothing. Like, what's he do? He gets a big coalition together. He wins no comps. He has a good social game, and he goes out third.
He chose Nicole when it was Nicole versus David. Like, why the fuck did he not do that? It's like, come on.
I felt tonight that like even production isn't really been pretending at this point really that he can win, because several times in that package he was talking about, yeah, I'm going to come in third again, aren't I? Like he's already admitting it.
We all know.
And the worst thing is, I feel like when he looks back, he has to look at the triple and the decision he made to not evict Nicole.
Yep.
Exactly. Like he's such an idiot.
Because it's not just that Nicole wouldn't have been there, but then people would look at Enzo very, very differently. I think.
Yeah, I do too.
He had plenty of time to make big moves in this game, and he did not do that.
And the
but
worst
he talked about it. He wanted to. He's like, it's time to make big moves, yo. And then you're like,
did he mention big moves?
so many fucking times. So many.
Every episode.
Yeah.
I mean, Nicole didn't know really good big news either, but she didn't tell us every day that she was gonna make one.
Big fucking moves, yo.
That's like the new thing. It's like I feel like on Big Brother, if you're telling the audience they are gonna make big moves, you're not gonna make big moves.
Yeah.
But if you don't tell them, then you probably will. Like it's no. So annoying.
There we go.
The quieter ones are the ones we have to watch out for, is what you're saying.
All right, so Matt's a newbie to Big Brother. So please explain how this third and final comp works to Matt, Kat. So we have Nicole.
But I don't know if this is what you need me to explain. So basically, Nicole won the first leg of the HOH. It's a 3-part series. Nicole won the first leg. Then Cody won the second leg. So now Enzo is out of competing for the third leg, but it's Nicole versus Cody. In a perfect world, Enzo still has a chance of being dragged to the final 2. We don't know yet. So he's not necessarily out, but like either Nicole or Cody's going to win the final HOH. So either Nicole or Cody, they go head to head. It's like a quick like buzzer HOH because it's on live. So then they choose on the live show who they're going to take, which we've all been led to the idea that they're going to take each other. So
Gotcha.
That's it.
But they both told us that we'd be surprised or hinted to something differently. But
they're not.
I'm thinking that's just. I think that's just the diary room saying, "Okay, now say this."
Yeah, like what if not? It's like
there have been multiple conversations over the last week or so of Enzo basically begging Cody to take him to final 2. He's like, I'd be really happy with I just want the 50K, yo. And Cody is giving him very little, which should give him some clue as to what's going on. But he keeps coming back. He keeps hoping he's going to get a different answer. Yeah. And I feel so bad for him.
Is he talking to Nicole saying you can't beat Cody, or is he just are all his eggs in the Cody basket? Because I can see Enzo putting all his eggs in the Cody basket for no reason.
That's pretty much what I've seen.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's the other thing. I don't know if y'all heard this rumor. Have y'all heard the rumor about splitting the prize?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
And-
the
and-
fuck
and
would
Enzo-
you split the, why the fuck would you split the prize?
And Enzo's not a part of that
No,
prize
it's
split.
Nicole and Cody, but like, why the fuck would you split it? Especially when you know that, say if I was, for the benefit of the doubt, I'm Cody, and I just won Big Brother. I just won $500,000, and I made a deal whatever with Nicole that we're gonna split. How is she gonna back that up? Is she gonna go to CBS and have them back that up? Is she going to go to social media and have them back that up? Because anything that she says that would back that up, she'd get annihilated for. So I'm taking my $500,000 and I'm peacing out.
Yeah.
Right?
They could.
And also, but the other thing is like, why would you agree to split it when, because then whoever wins is just missing out on money.
Yeah. I mean, I heard about the conspiracy to split, and my first reaction was, on Survivor, that would never be a possibility, ever in the history of ever. And we're playing for twice, and we're playing for twice as much fucking money.
Yeah.
Well, and the conspiracy we were talking about to split on this season is bigger than Nicole and Cody splitting it. It's also payouts to jury voters who vote certain ways were agreed upon ahead of time.
$500,000 is not that much, especially first of all, I live in Dallas, so $500,000 would go a long way. But if you're living in LA, which I think a lot of them do,
yeah,
$500,000 is like nothing.
Dinner for a year.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Whoever wins, even if they promise to split it, I hope they take the money and run and never look back.
Yeah,
well, I mean, it's unenforceable because even let's just say they had a lawyer.
Exactly.
Well, let's just say they had a lawyer put together an agreement that they all signed, notarized, and everything. Let's just say for argument's
they're not
sake.
that smart. Nope.
Okay, but let's just say they do.
Okay,
in your CBS contract, it says you can't conspire to share money.
It's legally unenforceable anyway. You can't make a contract to break the law.
Yeah, exactly. So it's so that's why I'm why? If it's true, I'm y'all are a bunch of idiots. And I hope that the person that wins the money does not. And also the other thing is whoever would win the money would get so fucking screwed because they have to pay taxes on all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if they were to pay taxes, I forget what it is, but so especially California,
$300,000.
Everything Big Brother related is taxed in California, which by the way was a bitch on my taxes this year. So everything Big Brother related is taxed in California, and then you split it. Whoever won would end up getting less than the payout that they gave to their second place person.
Now, the other version of this, and they may all be related, is that rather than the players splitting it among themselves, there was also going to be a cut for Dan and or Derek for putting
10%.
And again, that is a little bit more credible.
If they agree to that, they're a bunch of idiots. How far? Okay.
Well, the fact that we're talking about it shows the problem, right?
I'm 30 years old, and I'm a very immature 30-year-old. Literally all of these people that are on the show, minus Enzo, they're all younger than me. This is how you know they're immature. Because, you say, so you're going on Big Brother for an extension, you're going on there for 99 days.
Yeah.
Honestly, winning $500,000 for that price, especially when you're getting trolled on Twitter, is not that big of a prize. So the fact that you're going to split it with the second place person, then give a cut to Dan and Derek, who didn't. No,
you're splitting six. You're splitting 6 ways and then giving 10%.
You're walking away with $100 in your pocket.
And controlling on Twitter as much as you want.
I hate these. I hate everybody in the Big Brother world right now. I hate all of them. They're agreeing to this, idiots.
Nicole loves them all, and they are called the Realm. And
wait, Nicole Anthony loves them all?
Yes. She loves everybody. She's so sweet. She came off really good tonight.
She is so sweet, but
she shouldn't love them all.
I was about to say, I was like, Nicole. I'm gonna try to be like, Nicole, you're an idiot if you love them all. They evicted you, bitch.
No, not the people in the house. The realm, the Big Brother realm. That's what she calls it, the fandom, I guess.
Yeah, she was calling all the former players the realm. We loved it.
No. I love the fandom too. I'm not talking about the fandom. No, I'm saying I hate everybody who in this situation agreed to the winner, like to the whole splitting $500,000, because whatever they end up walking away with is not worth going into the house for 90 days, having their entire life scrutinized for the entire summer. It's just not like even if you were to win that's the thing about Big Brother is like what people don't realize is like we're putting ourselves up for such scrutiny, having every single second of our life being under a microscope. $500,000 is not enough to cover that. No. Like, I mean, I think my paycheck at the end of the day last year was like $16,000, which was cool. Like it was a fat paycheck, but I also hadn't cashed a paycheck to my account for like 3 months. So was $16,000 really that much?
And now you said there's a website of people with creepy screenshots of you.
Yeah, I hear. I mean, you could probably make more money from your naked camel toe than the $16K.
Yeah, you have a point.
Yeah, you can start an OnlyFans and make more money.
Reddit comes in. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding.
No, you told us you weren't there really just to win. You were there for the Instagram followers.
Oh, of course. I mean, no, you're there. Like everyone is there for the Instagram followers. I feel like I just like the thing is like people give me so much shit because I was honest about the fact that like it's actually really fucking cool to go on a show and get Instagram followers. Everyone is there. It doesn't matter if you're me. It doesn't matter if you're Cliff. It doesn't matter if you're Sam. It doesn't matter if you're Holly, Mickey. Like no matter who your character is. It's really cool to come back and get Instagram followers. But like, I was always like pretty open about it. It's like, hey, like if I don't win, I know I'll make $500,000 somehow. Mm-hmm. You know, it's like, so I guess like, it was just like,
I was not being critical. I'm just saying.
No. Oh, Karen, I know you're not. No, I'm saying like other people are like, but it's like, but it's just funny how like at the, like you're not like, there's so many other perks of going on the show. But the prize money isn't it, especially for Big Brother, especially when Johnny, as you said, Survivor gets double as much as we made.
For half as much.
And even our All-Star version, which was the Winners Award, $2 million.
Yeah, exactly.
And even we would $2 million. No one's conspiring.
Yeah, and $500,000, and I'm not saying like I'm not one of those people that are going to be like touting the whole like raise the prize money, because I feel like they're probably getting a pretty good pull from people that are willing to go in the house for only $500,000, so they can do whatever they want. But at the end of the day, like there's so many perks that you get from Big Brother that transcend the prize money. But with that being said, I just feel like it's a little stupid that if you won, like if I won, I would not be splitting it with anybody. Because it's already not that much.
Well, and especially both Survivor and Big Brother have been on for 20 years, so the prize money has basically been halved anyway by inflation.
Exactly. Like $500,000, especially in California, is not that much.
No.
Texas, it's a lot. Texas, I'm buying a whole fucking mansion.
There you go. All right, Kat, where can we find your podcast?
Oh, okay. So
hold on, real quick, before you do. Sorry. Who's your winner pick?
I hate to say it. Okay, so I would like to see Cody win because he was my preseason prediction. I think he's played a solid game. However, I want to see Nicole win at this point. I think she's been absolutely like I don't think she's a good person. I actually think that she's a piece of shit for what she said about Ian. But with that being said, I think that she has played a really cutthroat, scrappy game. And I think that as far as like Big Brother gameplay goes, in an all-star season, she's deserving of the title. Don't hate me for that, but that's just what I think. Yeah.
Okay. Karen, who's your pick?
It's going to be Cody. Because we can't have nice things. It's 20.
It's been a 3-week process for me, but I'm with Kat. I say Nicole.
Matt,
Cody.
Wow. So who's going to be the Johnny or the tiebreaker?
I'm going Nicole. She won me over tonight. Yeah. Tonight was the straw that broke the camel's back.
I'm telling y'all, Nicole is going to win.
And she gets all of her sponsors back in 1 week. Well,
She's
all
not
new,
getting her sponsors
all
back.
new and better sponsors.
Actually, to be honest, can we talk about the sponsor stuff for a second?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. As somebody who's worked as an influencer, okay, so these contracts that we do with with brands, they're at the most like a 6-month contract at the most. All of those people that these fans were contacting trying to get her fired, all of those contracts were completely like gone by then. Like they weren't active contracts. Those people are not her employers. They did not get her fired. I think that what Nicole did was shitty, and I think that she has a lot to own up to. But at the end of the day, she didn't get fired by anybody. There are contracts that she had that were expired that they may or may not have. They literally went on her Instagram and saw who she had recently partnered with, which was probably like a 1-off post or maybe 2-off post, 3-off post. But we did not ruin her life, and we did.
And if she wins, they want the person that won Big Brother.
Yeah. So I don't know, when that whole thing was happening, I agreed with the fact of holding people accountable, but it's so pointless to hold people accountable when they're in the house and they don't even know what the fuck they did. And all those people that they were mad at, with the exception of her wine sponsor for her wedding, because that sucked. But yeah, all those sponsors, all those contracts were already expired. They literally probably had to look up in their notes and be like, who the fuck is Nicole Franzel? Oh, it's that girl? Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I guess just put out a statement that we don't work with her anymore because we don't even know who the fuck she is. That's literally what brands think.
Yep.
So I don't know.
There we go. All right. Where can we find your podcast, Kat?
If you still like me after this, you can find me at Conspire Away Bitches Podcast with Kat Dunn. And that's everywhere where podcasts are found. Also, you can find me on Instagram at Kat Dunn and Twitter at It's Catherine Dunn.
There we go. And do you, I see you have some t-shirts. Is that through another company or is that through you?
So my best friend has a company called Live Love Game Day where we make, where she makes graphic tees for sports, but I also have a collection called the Kat Dunn for Live Love Game Day. So I do have some Conspiring Bitch merch. The Halloween merch is already sold out. Hate to say it, but we do have some Christmas merch coming and maybe some cute coffee mugs and things like that. It's honestly crazy how literally over a year since I've gotten out of the Big Brother house, my merch is selling out. Within my Conspiring Witch merch sold out within the weekend that I restocked, and I didn't even advertise it. It's crazy. You bitches are wild, but there is going to be a restock before Christmas, so stay tuned.
Cool.
Sweet. So, and as we remind you each and every week here on the podcast, subscribe at search Survivor NSFW, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever you podcast. Click the subscribe button. Rate us 5 stars. That helps with the sponsors. If you don't like it, do not rate it 1 star. It's just a mean thing to do. Just hit me up on Twitter and I'll block you. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And
if you don't rate 1 star, it's because they hate you personally.
Well, there's plenty of that. It's okay. So also to support the podcast, check out our sponsors, most of which are promo code Survivor. Get yourself some Blue Chew. Get yourself a super hard dick. Compliments of Survivor NSFW using promo code Survivor at BlueChew.com. Get yourself a t-shirt at JohnnyFairplay.com. Don't forget, with every t-shirt purchase, you get a phone call from me, Johnny Fairplay, thanking you for your purchase. And lastly, the best way to support the podcast is to become a patron. Go to adfreeNSFW.com. That's adfreeNSFW.com. And we have weekly trivia is coming back. We do a monthly Zoom call. We have a weekly Q&A. We have the secret Survivor Patreon group. It's a great collection of people. We'd love to have you join. Don't forget.
Oh, and hey, Johnny, did you check your fantasy football patron group this week? I just checked the score a minute ago. It looked pretty bad. It was I had 180. You had 100.
I think there was an error. I don't know. I'll check with the commissioner, see if he can fix that. That would be me. So yeah, try the Patreon for a month. We have all different pricing tiers, autographed pictures from survivors and other reality stars. Go to adfreeNSFW.com. Kat, you ruled Thank you so much. So
No,
everyone,
it's
give
fun.
her a
Thanks for
follow.
having me.
Yeah, thanks. It took us all season, but we made it happen when it really counted.
I know. Yeah. I honestly, I should have raised my rates. I should have charged y'all $3,000 to come to my wedding.
Well, we're there.
Sounds fair.
That was a Nicole Franzel joke. No. Yeah, no.
I did forget to say on the pod that apparently Christmas is still invited to the wedding. That was the other big thing from the feeds.
Tea.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Awesome. Well, good night, everyone. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Summer's here. It's crazy hot outside. We all know that you should drink more water. And by the time you feel thirsty, it's too late. You're already dehydrated. You can't focus and you feel tired.
Drinking enough water is critical for a healthy lifestyle. It increases your brain power and boosts your productivity. It prevents headaches and increases your total focus. Not only that, it improves your skin and mood. It helps your digestion and it gives you energy. It prevents bad breath and can even help you lose weight.
Holy moly, this is the dating cure of if I've ever heard of one. But how much water should you drink each day? 10 cups, a gallon? The good news is it doesn't have to be that complicated. And that's why I start my day with Hydrant, because Hydrant helps you hydrate faster.
What is Hydrant? Well, they've created a refreshing electrolyte powder that you mix directly into water to more efficiently and effectively hydrate your body. It hydrates you quickly and keeps you going for longer.
Each rapid hydration mix has the 4 essential electrolytes your body needs: sodium, potassium, magnesium, and zinc. And it packs a punch to help your body hydrate fast and stay hydrated.
And if you're looking for that extra boost of energy, there's also Hydrant Plus Caffeine, which contains 100 milligrams of caffeine, all from green tea.
And Hydrant is backed by research. The formula was developed by an Oxford scientist. It's also loved by pro athletes like yourself, Johnny Fairplay. Oh yeah, did I mention first place in the men's masters in my last 10K? That's right, thanks to Hydrant. Top performers, celebrities, and thousands of 5-star reviews.
It's made with real fruit juice powder. It's delicious and refreshing and comes in a wide variety of flavors, including new summer-friendly iced tea lemonade and fruit punch.
I'm loving the fruit punch, but I go back to the blood orange. That's my favorite. And winning a 10K thanks to Hydrant is all the proof I need.
Not only that, though, it's also backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. So if you don't love it, send it back for a full refund.
You really need to try it for yourself to see what I'm talking about. It tastes incredible and it works.
Hydrant starts at just $1 a packet for a 30-day supply, and you can save even more with a monthly subscription. But Johnny, tell them what kind of special offers we've got for them.
We got a special deal for our listeners right now. Save 25% off your first order. Huge, 25%. Go to drinkhydrant.com/survivor and enter our promo code survivor at checkout.
That's drinkhydrant.com/survivor and enter promo code survivor for 25% off your first order.
drinkhydrant.com/survivor, enter promo code survivor and save 25%. And we thank them for sponsoring the Survivor NSFW podcast.